Guys, Jeff Baxter here from Jeff Baxter Official, and I'm here with my good friend Miss Danielle Wright. She's down for the weekend. We're doing some business together, and the Bible says every now and then you'll find a traveler. And once I got a chance to really sit down and talk with Danielle, I seen that she was a believer. Just really loved her spirit and her heart. And I want her to give you guys a snippet of her testimony because I know a lot of you that follow me are entrepreneurs, but you're also believers as well. So I want to give you guys a quick word of encouragement on today. And yeah, let you take it over from here, Danielle.
A few years ago, I got a call that no one ever wants to hear in their lives. My dad rang me up. I was living the perfect life in Hawaii, like a 100-year-old Hawaiian house, waking up next to my best friend every day, 2 blocks from Waikiki, the most money, best job I've ever had in my life. And my dad rang me up one afternoon and said, "Hey, your mom just got a really bad diagnosis. She's called hospice on herself. You have a week to say goodbye to your mother." And she was the love of my life. I quit everything. I dropped everything. My car, my house, my job, booked a one-way ticket to the East Coast from Hawaii, and I ran to them. I ran to them ready to fight. I was ready for battle, for war. Like, "Mom, you ain't going down like this." Nah. And she wasn't ready to fight. And a few weeks later, I found her dead. And it ripped every bit of hope out from under me. And I know that you shouldn't let what you see affect what you believe, because it doesn't matter what we see in this world. It doesn't change what God says is true. Like, His word remains regardless of whether the people around us are doing it or whether we see it in any manner. We're called to be Jesus' hands and feet. And so whenever I had given up everything to run to her, I had nothing left, nothing to go back to. Everything that she had seen and touched and said was all over my life in Hawaii, on the East Coast, at my dad's. I just had to get out and run. I had a bank account, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna leave the country, and I'm not coming back till that money's gone or I'm dead." And I just, for 2 years, ran from brokenness. I did things to myself that people shouldn't even speak of. Like, I didn't care. I had walked away from the power of God in my life. He was just one of my favorite habits. And I ran and engaged in every sort of rebellion I could think of. And then last summer, I spent half the summer living in China with a friend, and she abandoned me. So I spent my last week alone in a communistic nation. Had to find my way to the airport, everything, and God sent someone to rescue me. And that moment broke me. It broke me back to Him in even a greater way than I had ever known. I felt like a wife who had run off on her husband. I felt like Jesus had been there the whole time, just chasing me country after country. I was living in 19 countries in the last 2.5 years, just running full speed away from myself. And He arrested my heart there. Like, here I was sitting on a couch, homeless in China with no one. People didn't even know where I was or what I was doing, what I was going through, what had happened. And I just cried out to God one morning. I'm like, "God, I have done everything. I've tried everything but you. What do you want?" And I heard the words of a pastor I follow. And he said, "If you want the greatest breakthrough of your life, fall in love with your enemies." At first I thought that was kind of a dumb idea, to be honest. But I was like, "God, I asked you and you answered." I didn't even expect an answer. I was kind of just like angrily muttering that prayer, like, "What do you want?" Kind of under my breath, sort of. And so I thought, okay, when I get back somewhere stable, I'll write down the list of the first 10 people I spent, some of them years, some of them half my life, hating. It without even realizing it, because you don't like to think that you have enemies. You're thinking, I don't hate anyone, and you think, ooh, but I got that, those cheating exes. I got that friend who betrayed me. My mom who gave up on life. And I hated her for it. And, I couldn't see through my pain that she just wanted to go home. And I had to just forgive all these people, and in my own strength, I never could do that. So every single morning, I would run downstairs to my list of enemies who by the grace of God became my list of my greatest loves. After just 2 weeks, I would run downstairs excited like I was opening the door to my date. Ha! People I had hated. I would pick up my list and just pour my soul out over it. God, I started praying things for them greater than I would even pray for myself. I started falling in love with them more than I loved myself. I saw the face of God in their lives, even as several of them unredeemed people. And whenever I fell in love with my enemies, which, we hear in Sunday school all our lives and think, oh, that's stupid. Why would you love your enemies? What do I get out of that? We make our Christianity about ourselves and it has no power. And I started to just fall in love with them, probably more than I even loved some of my family, just people I thought I could never care about. And when that forgiveness came, it took with it all the insecurities of my childhood, all the unforgiveness of other friends, of the loss of my mother. It took every single pain and stumbling block. It took everything out of my life that had held me back from knowing him. And my former ceiling became my floor of just that level of intimacy with God. The power of loving your enemies will skyrocket your life in every single area.
Amen.
That's all I got for now.
Amen. I appreciate you sharing that heartfelt, powerful testimony, Danielle. And if they want to follow you on social media, can you give them some of your accounts, maybe Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram?
I have an Instagram right now. It's Finding Miss Wright.
No pun intended. All right, so there you guys have it, Miss Danielle Wright. Really love her spirit, love her heart. So you guys have her social media account. And with that being said, we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.